Oh. Hey, Broski Club, I didn't see you there. Are you like me? Do you watch a ton of content online? And are you stuck watching it on a tiny little smartphone screen? We all know that bigger means better. But I also don't want to spend a bunch of money on Apple TV or Google Chrome. If only there was an app that could help me control what I'm watching on my television through my smartphone. Oh, wait a minute. You can use Remote Play. Remote Play is basically like Apple TV and Chromecast, but it's absolutely free. You don't need any fancy equipment to hook up to your television. All you need to do is go down to the App Store and download their app, and you'll be watching glorious online content on your television in no time flat. Now, trust your broski. I wouldn't pawn this off on you guys if I didn't actually use it. It's fantastic, it's easy to use, and I highly recommend you check it out. Now, if you do want to check it out, I'll leave a link in the description, so be sure to tell them that the broski sent you. It's Tuesday morning and I'm not pissed off. Here are my raw reactions. First Raw of the new era kicks off with Stephanie McMahon and Mick Foley, who are in the ring and introduce us to the entire Raw roster. Now, after everybody comes out, Stephanie McMahon immediately targets Roman Reigns and calls him a loser and blames him for the WWE Championship being over on SmackDown. She then immediately puts him into a position where he would be able to earn another title shot. So yeah, some great WWE logic right there.
Oh, but broski, Mick Foley's the one who actually made the match.
Shut the fuck up! That joke wouldn't have worked if I would have said Mick Foley, okay? Now they proceed to make two fatal four-way matches for this evening on Raw, and the winners of those two matches would face off in the main event. The winner of that match would go on to SummerSlam to face Seth Rollins for the WWE Universal Championship. What? Those 8 men include Sami Zayn, Sheamus, Chris Jericho, Cesaro, Roman Reigns, Rusev, Kevin Owens, and Finn Balor, who made his grandiose WWE debut among everybody else on the top of the stage. Not anticlimactic at all. Now, Mick and Stephanie weren't done there. They also make a WWE Women's Championship match between Charlotte and Sasha Banks. The first match of this evening is the first fatal four-way match, and it includes Cesaro, Rusev, Kevin Owens, and Finn Balor in his first ever WWE main roster match. Now, typically, and because the internet has completely killed my attention span, I tend to zone out during long matches, but that was not the case here, guys. I was hooked from beginning all the way to the end. I thought it was a great match. Everybody got a chance to shine. You had Rusev and Kevin Owens working together early on, having a game of one-upsmanship, which was pretty fun to watch. You had Cesaro doing his uppercut train and getting to Finn Balor, kind of hesitating and going, whatever, fuck it, and hitting him anyway. But in the end, Finn Balor making an immediate impression on the main roster and picking up the win. Finn Balor is headed to the main event of Monday Night Raw on his very first night. Up next, we have Nia Jax versus Britt Baker? Whoever the fuck that is. I have been begging for a long time to have something shake up the women's division and WWE, and I think Nia Jax is exactly what this division needs. She has a different look, she can be physically dominating on pretty much anybody on the entire roster, and we got a small glimpse of that tonight. The match lasted about 15 seconds. It would have lasted 10, but Nia Jax lifted Britt Baker's head up on the count of 2 just so she could beat her ass a little bit more. I am in love with Nia Jax. We head backstage now. We see the Golden Truth, who are running around playing Pokemon Go. And we also have Sasha Banks, who says she's gonna win the women's championship later. The next match was the second Fatal 4-Way match, and now this one had Chris Jericho, Sami Zayn, Roman Reigns, and Sheamus involved. Now, I don't know if it was because we had just seen a Fatal 4-Way match earlier in the evening, but I wasn't as captivated by this one. It was still a great match, don't get me wrong, and I thought Sami Zayn in particular looked fantastic. I just wasn't as captivated by this Fatal 4-Way as I was with the one earlier in this evening. In the end, the big dog picked up the win thanks to a spear. So your main event for Monday Night Raw's new era is Finn Balor versus Roman Reigns. Up next, we have a celebration with my boys, The New Day, who are now the longest reigning WWE Tag Team Champions in history. We celebrate this with a video package set to the theme of what I'm sure was a song that played during Dawson's Creek back in the 90s. Now, the New Day decided in order to celebrate this monumentous occasion, they were going to make somebody an honorary member of the New Day for this evening. Now, this kind of pissed me off a little bit because if you remember a few months back, the New Day got my time machine destroyed, and I felt that I deserved to be that honorary member, but since they had to pick someone in the crowd, they picked some guy named Sonny Boy, who, by the way, was way more over than some of the people on the actual roster. Just as this party was reaching fever pitch, Anderson and Gallows came down and ruined everything. After they beat down the members of the New Day, they went over to Sonny Boy and they got in his face, those monsters! So the moral of the story here, guys, is that if a WWE wrestler ever invites you over to a party, just don't go because they never end well. Up next, we have a match between Curtis Axel, who's calling himself Mr. Irrelevant now because he was the last one to be picked during the draft. Never has a nickname been so accurate in the history of nicknames. Now, Curtis Axel was facing Neville, who was returning to in-ring action after a 4-month absence due to an ankle injury. If there was any doubt that he was 100%, that doubt went out the window. He looked fantastic during this match. It was good to have Neville back. I've always been a fan of his high-flying style, and he easily picked up the win here. We go backstage now with the Golden Truth, who are still playing Pokemon Go. Oh, and then you had Bob Backlund, who was obviously also triggered, screaming and yelling about God knows what. Up next, we have a WWE Women's Championship match between Charlotte and Sasha Banks. Now, Sasha Banks came out with a mean streak, and despite some interference from Dana Brooke early on, Sasha absolutely controlled the early goings of this match. Speaking of interference from Dana Brooke, Sasha Banks found the remedy for this using an old trick from WWE legend Eddie Guerrero. Earlier in the match, Charlotte went to grab her women's championship and she was rubbing it in Sasha Banks' face, saying that she would never obtain it. Sasha Banks replied by knocking Charlotte down and throwing her back in the ring. She then picked up the title, threw it to Dana Brooke, then immediately lied down on the ground, causing the referee to think that Dana Brooke interfered in the match once again and sent her back into the back. The highlight for me was easily Charlotte's moonsault off the top rope to the outside, which I felt was a great way to show how important this title is to the women in the division, which in turn just helps build up your title. I thought this was a great match, fantastic performance by both women, but in the end, Sasha Banks locks in the bank statement on Charlotte, forcing her to tap. We have a brand new WWE Women's Champion in Sasha Banks. Next, we have Braun Strowman versus someone who was obviously born without a chin. No, really. Look at him! Where's your chin, bro? Strowman killed him. What the fuck were you expecting? We got Enzo and Cass up next versus the Shining Stars, which was a quick match, and it was interrupted by the Golden Truth playing Pokemon Go. Nope, I'm done. Fuck this, I'm out. Fuck it. Fuck. And finally this evening, our main event, a match between Finn Balor and Roman Reigns, with the winner going on to SummerSlam to face Seth Rollins for the WWE Universal Championship. I'm never going to get used to calling it that. Ever. Now, just a little side note here, guys. I mean, I just think it's incredibly ironic how everybody is jerking themselves off over Balor, even though he's clearly had a rocket strapped to his back right to the top, which... Who did that happen to again? Who did that... Oh, yeah, it happened to Roman Reigns, and y'all want to crucify him for it. Looks like WWE isn't the only people with fucked up logic. Now, as far as the match goes, I thought it was really, really good. I felt that Reigns and Balor had tremendous chemistry together, and they gave us one hell of a main event. Now, how do I know it was one hell of a main event? Because there was near falls for days. And if the Indies taught me anything, is that near falls equals a good match. It was Finn Balor's night, however, as after a long and hard-fought match, he hit a coup de grace on Roman Reigns, picked up the 1-2-3, your SummerSlam main event for the WWE Universal Championship, Seth Rollins versus Finn Balor. That's gonna kick all kinds of ass. So there you have it, guys, my Raw reactions for the week. I thought Battleground was fantastic. Monday Night Raw was awesome. Can SmackDown close out the trifecta and have 3 awesome shows back to back to back? They fucking better, because I review the damn thing, so it better not suck! So what did you guys think? Did you think this was a great way to kick off the new era of Monday Night Raw? Be sure to leave me a comment down below and tell me what you think about tonight's episode of Raw. If you enjoyed the video, hit that like button. If you're new here, click that subscribe button. I come back every Tuesday morning with my hot takes on what happened the night before on Raw. If you got some time to kill, why don't you check out my broskies at kayfabetoday.com to check out all kinds of great wrestling related content. And until next Tuesday morning, guys, these have been my Raw reactions first thing in the morning.
Bum, 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 bum.